Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin mommy, and Smokey today. It's January 23rd, 2023, and I'm here for my weekly cross-stitching update. Too many ums already, sorry. She was distracting me. I'll blame it on you. Yeah, so I have things to share, and I'm excited about what I was able to get done this week. Almost done with a month. It's been fun, and I'm still really enjoying it. So first off, I have a tiny bit of stash acquisitions, kind of, sort of, stickers. I found these at Walmart. I was looking for some planner stickers that had months and a variety of like things that I could include in my stitching planner. And the ones I was finding at, I had one on my wish list on Amazon. I didn't get it for Christmas. I was looking at Joann's, and all the Happy Planner ones were really expensive. Like, I'm not spending that much for just, my planner will be fine without the stickers, so it's not a necessity. So, but I found these at Walmart for like just under $3, and I can use them for 2 years, so I like it. So they have these like month labels, which are nice, but and there's another one there that had more flowery motifs, but what sold me on this one was they had a bunch of holiday stickers too that I can put in and like put them next to the holidays. So I thought that was fun because I like that in my planner when the holiday comes around, and then I know, oh, that's why I didn't get stitching time that I normally do, or what have you, or I can work on something unique because it's the holiday, you know, things like that. So I liked that purchase. Travel stitching. So I worked on my temperature Quaker yesterday and got caught up again. Yeah. Come have a nap, kitty. So this is on 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim, 1/1 full cross. Still very wintry, mostly purples, a little bit of blue. And it is going to be a little warmer today, maybe this next warmest color. I would guess maybe today. It did not freeze last night. It's been freezing every other morning the last few days. So, but yeah, this has been fun. This first motif is pretty much mostly border. We will come in and do a little thing in the middle, but the next one will be a little bit, it'll be more substantial. And then this one will be bigger too. So every one of them is different. So this has been fun. And I like that and I know a lot of other people have started this one in particular because there's no additional elements. There's no tree trunk, there's no grass, there's no quilt sashing, you know, it's just the days of the month. And so that's kind of fun to know there's nothing else I need to get caught up on. It's as far as it's gonna be. So I work on this every Sunday if I can, and that's fun. I am also working on Brooks Books Advent Animals. When I'm in the car, I'm right now working on Calling Cardinal. This is when I'm in the car waiting for my kids, most of the time. And then if we watch shows as a family, I'll pull this out too because it's really easy to bring over. I got a decent amount done this week. This is where Calling Cardinal is now. This is 18 count light blue Aida 2/1 full cross. And I got all the white done, got the cardinal finished except for backstitching. I did the beak color, which was also up here. I did the eye color, which was also here. Then I did the candy cane color, which was also up here. And then I did the leaf color, which was also up here. So I was just trying to pick things that were in the main picture. And they also had corresponding gumdrops up here. It will be a gingerbread house that he's in, so that's fun. These two, I believe, are the darker green. So I have those. There's a couple of dark green leaves, and then there's 2 shades of brown, and the number will be in here as well, and then I can do all the backstitching. So probably, I'm hoping, I mean, this is fill-in, but it'd be nice to finish it this week because I still need to work on Antique Shoe Collection. I have not gotten that out at all, and I'd like to get a little chunk done every month so I can finish it this year. I don't know, it's not going well because I haven't pulled it out at all. So this is my oldest WIP at this point, and I'm hoping to finish it this year and do like, of the shoes I have left, do one every month, do part of the border, you know, on different months. So I don't know. I feel like because I pulled out Flea Market Flowers, which I'll show you in a minute, this one isn't getting the attention that it should. But I don't mind that I have this on the go, and I really don't want Flea Market Flowers on the go anymore. I love it. It's colorful, but I wish I had finished it when it was like a sal. So I'm going to show you Antique Shoe Collection in the hopes that I'll get to it this week. We'll see. So this is where this is at now. My soft goal, I guess, for January is to finish this green boot along with the rest of the ribbon that kind of comes out here, including the back stitching. So the green boot is mostly stitched, which is helpful for January since I'm kind of still feeling my way around with this goal, but I got black down here to do, and then more of the ribbon, and then all the back stitching. Yeah, I even did the buttons and stuff. So yeah, this is 14 count antique white Aida, I believe I said, 2/1. It's all the kit, everything. Started 23 years ago, 24 years ago, something of that nature. It'd be nice to finish it. So I'm gonna see how it goes, but I have, the first week of January, I didn't have school pickups because the kids were still out. So I'm hoping maybe in future months it will work better, although the summers and things like that will still be a challenge to get all my WIP Go things finished, plus these other things. I have a lot of travel projects. I think too many travel projects, but that's okay. It's fine. They'll all get worked on eventually, and whatever I get done is great. So this is Flea Market Flowers. I started it with the Stitch Along a couple years ago now, and with the Fat Quarter Shop, and I really want it done. It's gorgeous. I am enjoying it, but I don't want it lingering any longer. So I do really want to finish this year. I'm working on this one, and I'm currently working on this pretty much only when I am chatting with people on video calls, which is not that often. I'm not super social. So once a week I talk with my sister. This is 25 count vintage cloth in the color Barley, 1/1 full cross. And yeah, Kitty, I'm up here. So I only worked on this while I talked with my sister this week, and sometimes I talk with another friend, you know, Colette or somebody. If I talk with Desiree, I work on the piece that I have with her, so this one doesn't get attention then, but it gets 1 or 2 hours a week, I guess. So I finished, I think just oh no, maybe this. I think I still had more gray to fill in. And then I came over and started the center of this flower to finish my thread, and then I did all the light teal petals. So all I have left in this patch is the dark blue petals. So I should be able to finish that this week. And then if I can finish that before the call's over, I'll pull out Antique Shoe Collection. If I finish Colin Cardinal before the week's over, I'll pull out Antique Shoe Collection. So we'll wait and see how that goes. Yeah, so that's all of that kind of stuff. I did work on my Letter Fairy once. This was a kind of a bad week for bonus stitching, which is what I do at home in the afternoons if I feel like I have extra time, and that only happened once. Either things were busy in the evenings, or my afternoons were busy, or what have you. So this I am hoping to finish by like May or June. So I do need to keep chipping away at it, and I will. But let's see, where is this one? So only one day on it. I still have thread on my needle because it was basically a half length of floss in the letter F. That's all I did. So not a whole lot. This is 32 count water lily linen, the called for fabric, 2/2 full cross for everything. And so I just headed down here with my brown, and so there's more on my thread, more on my needle, so hopefully I'll get to that this week and can keep going down this side of the F, and then I can go down this side. I'm considering color completing, just because the brown creates a nice structure to be able to put in everything else. So I'm thinking I might do all the brown, then all of this color, and then all of, you know, whatever other shades are in there. There's a few different blues and teals. Then add all the beads and etc. at the end. I don't know, we'll see. I might change how I tackle it as I go, but at this point I'm thinking I might just stick with brown for a little while to try to get that whole letter done. What? Do you not want to be in here? If I let you out, you're just gonna whine to come back. Maybe she doesn't want to be a Flosstube star today. Oops. All right, most of my regular stitching this week, has been centered around Bringo, which is a pop-up challenge in the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group on Facebook. And they call a number every day for the first 25 days, and their challenge is for each square will work on 100 stitches on whatever you put in that spot. They have prompts for each number. So everybody's number 25 is something from a magazine. I randomly distributed my numbers, therefore also my prompts, throughout the board. So this is what mine looks like now. This one that I accidentally started coloring in earlier finally got called for today. So once that's done, I'll have these two left for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then this will be done, which is fun. It's been a joy to work on that. And kind of along the same lines, the February bingo board for Full Coverage Fanatics is up now in their group on Facebook. And their prompts are already pre-filled in the board, so I just left them the way they were. I believe I will be changing this one. I don't have a pencil up here, so this one will also be Visit Endor. What I decided to do for this bingo, which I guess is plans, so sorry if you don't like plans. I'm here, I'll do it. Everything, all my full coverage pieces that are not already getting a month, or they're not a month, a week in the month throughout the year, or my montages, which are also getting essentially a week every, you know, once this year. All of the other ones are getting a day in here. And I decided to focus a little bit more on my family pieces. So I have two full coverage family pieces. So they each have, Visit Endor has 3 days on here. Bear Time Stories has 2 days on here, but Bear Time Stories will have 2 days at the end of the month, and Visit Endor will have 1 day at the end of the month, so that both of my family pieces will get 5 days in February, which I think is great. So everything I have, full coverage wise, will have attention this year. We'll get a little bit of time. And let's see, where did I put that? Is there another one? I think there might have been. Patchwork Quilt Room will also get 1 extra day on the bingo board days, which is fitting, I felt, because this past year I did not get my full 1,000 stitch start on it. So that was appropriate that that one get a little bit more time. So that one gets a bonus day too. But everything else will get 1 day, and my 2 family pieces will get 5 in the month of February. So I felt like that was great. A good use of full coverage February. I also have another alteration to full coverage February, which I was planning to just continue on with my fairy for my bonus stitching, but my daughter has gotten the stitchy bug. She's 10 now, and we had started this, I think, over a year ago. This is by Pain Free Crafts, and we've cropped it to be just the main bits. So where you see the lines is all we're doing. We're doing that at 18 count fabric, and which is the smallest I felt she could handle. And she's doing okay so far. She wants to stitch the kitty cat. I'm hoping eventually she'll be able to also stitch the snowman. So at this point, I'm just planning to stitch the background for her. I put in 1 length of background a long time ago when we first started this. She put in a few stitches of like creamy white, or pale blue actually, I think, in the ear a long time ago. We haven't worked on it in like almost a year, probably more than a year maybe. I haven't pulled it out for, I don't consider this an official WIP of mine because it's her project. But she has had a renewed interest in it. She finished her long string she was working on. Yesterday she pulled out another color that was a shorter string and finished it in one day, got like 20 stitches, which is kind of a record for her. She usually loses interest pretty quickly. So she's on a roll right now. And I thought it would be fun to pull this out for my bonus stitching in February so that pretty much everything I work on other than my travel pieces will be full coverage. So I'll give this either one length of thread or half a length of thread every day that I can swing it to kind of work on the background, especially around the kitty cat, but also over here as well until this line. So try to get things all filled in so that she can see like the outline of the cat and be happy about filling that in. So I'll show you where this is at now because you haven't seen this in a while and it was not in my WIP parade because it's not mine. So this is 18 count white Aida and that's our start. I did that dark blue there, you see, that's all one length of thread. And then she has done the white. There's actually light pale blue and light pale purple. There's a second color in there now. She is a little stubborn and refuses to do her stitches the same way every time, even though I told her it looks nicer when they all go the same direction. So she is still not doing that, but that's okay. She's having fun and we'll get there. Eventually she'll see the beauty in putting them all the same direction. I'll have to have another talk with her and see, like, it doesn't have to be the direction I do it. If you feel like you are more comfortable doing your X's a different way, that's fine. Just pick a way and try to do them that way every time. So that's where we're at right now. She's enjoying using Pattern Keeper, which is part of the fun, I think, because she can like mark it off and stuff. And so the problem with that though is if I have a Pattern Keeper pattern that I'm working on that day, she's like, "Are you using your thing? I want to stitch." I'm like, "Yeah, I was planning to use it." So I have to get creative. So maybe I could work on my bonus stitching, like my fairy, while she's working on that in the early evening. And if she's still doing homework or jobs in the afternoon, I could start in on my evening piece then and do my bonus piece while she's feeling like stitching in the evening. So we'll see. And then go back to my main piece, when she's asleep. So anyways, I think it's super cute. It's really fun. And I thought that would be a nice way to be really focused on full coverage in February as well as family February. I guess I'll wait on that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and show you what I worked on this week. My video was on Tuesday last week, so I guess, let's see. Winter Montage was not since my video. I worked on Grand Library Romance twice, which was my full coverage piece for January. It was my New Year, New Start. And I want to give every full coverage piece 5 days in this year. That was kind of my plan. Each month we'll get a different one, except for February and August. This is January's. I'm starting on this side because I'll be working like this. Because it's so long and skinny, I felt like it'd be nice to handle the fabric that way. So you can see all these, this European alleyway kind of coming out a little bit more. So I worked on that 2 days. And this is actually the stopping point for the month of January because it's been called all five times. So this is the total that I got to. This is 40 count, 1/1, full cross, half cross, just kidding. 40 count, 1/1, half cross. And French lace linen. So this got 154 stitches on Tuesday, which wasn't great for this piece, and 561 on Saturday, for a month-long total of 2,210 stitches from the beginning of the month till now, so that from the start. So this, as right now, is 2,210 stitches. Pretty cool. which is a better start than my starts got last year because they only got 1,000 stitch start. So this is double that. It looks pretty cool. The middle is like around here somewhere. So there's still some more, it will go a little bit longer. I wasn't able to get to the bottom, but I was filling in the 10 by 10 squares as I went down. This is the far right. So it's actually a 5 by 10 square here on the edge of the pattern. So those are all filled in till about like here. How far down? Yeah. Till like here. It's all, those squares are finished. So that's why this edge of the bookshelf, I guess, is all solid, because I was filling in the 10 by 10 squares, which were half the size of a regular 10 by 10 square, because they're on the edge of the page. And that's how I'm picking my symbols. So once I reach the bottom, picking my symbols that way, I'll go back to the top and pick the symbols in the next 10 by 10 square, and that's how this one's gonna go. Top to bottom, right to left. A little bit of an alteration there, but this has been fun. A tip for the 1/1 on 40 count that helps me, I use a beading needle because it makes it really a lot easier to weave my stitches under the back, because they're really tiny and they're half stitches, so they're thin. And I also cut short lengths of thread, so usually no more than 12 inches. Especially this Witchelt fabric is kind of rough, so I like that because it's not going to warp as much, but it's also going to shred my thread because of so many times going in and out with the 40 count, because there's tiny little stitches. It goes through the fabric a million times. So I keep my length of thread pretty short. Then I also worked on my flowers within a flower, which is my focus on a finish piece here in January. Twice since you saw it. This is from a magazine. I started it last January. There's a lot more detailed and a lot more stitching than I originally anticipated. Not sure I'll get it done in January, but I'm still plugging away at it. So here is where I'm at. This is 32 count, I believe, lamb's wool linen by Witchelt, 2/2, full cross with lots of fractionals. I think I was getting pretty discouraged because at first I could do like a whole color every time I worked on this in that day, and then I couldn't anymore. And then I realized, well, yeah, you're picking these peach colors where there's a lot of stitching, so I wasn't getting all of them done in the one day, and it was a little discouraging, but there was a lot of stitching, so so those are getting filled in rather nicely. There's one more color in those peach flowers. I decided to take a break from the peach and went over to the purple and put in a medium purple on these two as well until the day was over. Half that day was peach and half that day was purple, so I could have done all the purple, maybe even the next color if I had just been doing purple, but I was doing half the day was peach as well. So this got 2 days. This will have one more day on the Bringo board, I believe. Maybe not. Let me see, where's my Bringo board? Yes, one more day on Bringo board. And what's my plan? 3 more days at the end of the month after the bingo board is over. So the 26th to the 28th. 26th, 27th, 28th. We'll see. I have an idea of something I want to do with this, so that helps too, to motivate me to finish it and not just scrap it and be done with it. Because that's definitely a temptation at this point. But I'm hoping that I can get this done. Or at least get all the stitching done and then work on the back stitching and stuff when it gets time to fully finishing it the way I'm thinking. And I'll keep that a secret for now. So, yeah, then Thursday I worked on His Name is Jesus because I was talking with Desiree. We're getting close to the end of this, so this is fun. This is by Joyful Expressions. Free pattern when you sign up for their newsletter. And it's charted for like 3 shades of a color. So I have subbed mine out for 3 different Victorian mottos that were in my stash. And here is where this is at now. This is 28 count Ivory Lugana, just kidding, 1/1 full cross. And Star of is what I did this past time. And it will say Jacob, and then that's the bottom of the piece. So that's pretty cool. Finish this motif, we'll hit the bottom, then I'll have like Wonderful Counselor goes all the way across here. There's Elohim right here and something else in the corner over here. So we're getting real close. We have not yet decided what we're going to do after this. I thought we had a plan, and it seems like it's changing. So we're in process of figuring out what we want to stitch together when this is done. And that day, I also worked on Simpsons. Finally got called in Bringo. I will hopefully be working on this once a month as well. This is for my husband. It was originally full coverage, and I'm taking out the plain white that was out here and in the center here, and just doing this part for the paper is actually 3 or 4 different colors. So I'm still stitching that, and his shirt I'll stitch, and their eyeballs. But all the unnecessary white I'm not stitching, so it's not full coverage anymore. It is considered a full coverage no background at this point. This was hard. I wanted to stitch more on this, but my husband kept coming in the room and had to put it away. So I'm thinking what I'll do on these days is have my bonus piece with me and work on this whenever I can, whenever, afternoon, evening, doesn't matter, when he's not around, which might be more likely to be in the afternoon because he's still working, and he'll be in the other room when he's working. So I'll work on this when I can on the days that it's coming out. And then when he comes in, or he may come in, like, this is a secret. Then I'll work on my bonus piece at that point. So that's the plan for now, but this is how far I got. I was hoping to get a little bit more done, but I got 212 stitches. This is 40 count 1/1 half stitches on Vertical even weave, just in white, which makes these stitches a little hard to do. I did a color, I had Maggie's color on my needle already, so I finished a bunch of that. That's where I got most of my stitches. And then I had a color, I came up to the top to see what was left. There was a color inside of her hair that I worked on and did a little bit of that. Forget where else. I think, yeah, down here there was some, I think this is the same color that was up in the hair. It was like a cream color that I did right here. And then I came back up, the next symbol was in his head, and it was like a outline symbol, and it was only 49 stitches. So I was gonna just get that done and get some more outline little bits finished, and then I ran out of time. He was in the room a little bit too much. Like he was in the close to, like, across the room helping my son with his physics homework, and a little bit too close for comfort because I felt like he could come over at any minute. And so I want this to stay a secret. So I think in the future I'll do that, where I'll kind of go back and forth between my, letter fairy and that one on the days that it comes out. So hopefully I'll be able to chip away a little bit more on it when it has its time. And I am planning on doing a good chunk of time on it in like November or something. So that'll be fun. Then I had a new start because I went ahead and put my Fancy Lady reward piece on my Bringo board, even though I won't necessarily have finished my focus piece, which is flowers within a flower, but I went ahead and put it on my Bringo board just to have at least one day on it. And I decided to do Once Upon a Time by Butternut Road. And this I was starting with Fiber Arts Amy. I don't remember. I mean, I don't know if she actually started it. She was thinking of starting it too. Maybe Saturday. I never got around to posting a picture, but I started in the center and worked on her arm and this, like, whatever that is. road, I don't know, and start it in on her face. Because I think I'll do her face and head and then come up over the oval here and then start work from the top down with this background. So I had this kitted up with amber witchelt linen, which is a warm colored neutral, very warm tan, which I thought matched this pretty well. But when I got it out, I'm like, this is really yellowy. I want to make sure these colors match on it. And I realized the called for fabric is the same fabric that my mother-in-law just got me to go with Petal Fairy, which I wasn't planning to use for Petal Fairy. So I used it for this. And the colors looked better on this one. And this is a Zweigart, so it's not as see-through, which also seemed like it would be a good idea for this background. I wouldn't have to worry about carrying threads as much if it's less see-through. So I'm excited to use this fabric that was gifted to me and get started on this. So this is 32 count natural linen by Zweigart, and it's 2 over 2 full cross. And yeah, so this is her sleeve in its entirety. Her hand will be up here going out to the bird, and then I worked up this bit of the background and into her face. So this is her nose coming down here. This color is still on my needle. Her eye will be right there, and then her mouth and stuff will be down here. Her forehead is up here. So not a lot, but for one day, you know, not bad. I'm really excited about this. I would love, the plan right now is to pull this out for one more day at the end of the month. There is a possibility if I get real close to flowers within a flower that I might just work on that instead, or I might work on Antique Shoe Collection. But I would love to do a little bit more on this, get more of her face done. So we'll see. But this was fun. I actually enjoyed working on this, and I love the fabric. It's really nice. So yeah, perfect start. That's all, I believe, that I worked on. I have one more day on Crazy Wonderful Owl Family and one more day on Winter Montage, which are here, but I guess I didn't work on them this week since I've seen you last. So those two will get, actually, let's show them. Winter Montage will also get work on Sunday and Monday as well. So here's my starting point. I did not work on this at all this week, but this will get one more day, either Tuesday or Wednesday and Sunday before you see it. And then I want to give it one more day on Monday as well, because I decided to give all of these montage pieces the months with 5 Sundays so that they can have 5 days as well as my other full coverage focus pieces. So I want to make sure this gets a full 5 days because I only put it in my Bringo board 3 times. So that's the plan. You'll see this twice again, assuming I film on Monday. You'll see this 2 more times and then once more after I film. And Crazy Wonderful Owl Family will come out 1 more time in Bringo, and then that will be the end of the rotation on that one. That's where I'm at on that. So probably more ear. Maybe this part will get filled in too. That'd be nice. So both of those are 28 count, 1 over 1 full cross. This one is, somebody commented that this was a lot bigger than they thought. This is a fat half of fabric, and it will fit, it will be almost to the sides of this. And it's 1 over 1. So yes, it is quite large. The commenter said it didn't look that big in the picture, but so she was surprised. But yeah, it's 428 by 180. So as Heaven and Earth designs go, it's not that big because all the background has been removed. So it's only 180 from here to here. But this way it's 428. So it's quite wide. But I think it'll be fun to keep chipping away at this one. This is all it will get in 2023 though, likely, which is a little sad, but I'll bring it out again next year. And maybe at some point it will become a focus pieces too. To get, like, if I get some of these other family pieces done, and I might continue going with the Family Mondays situation that I'm going to try to do this year, then maybe this one will go in one of those spots and get time once a month. So a little bit of cross-stitching plans that I haven't already shared for February. I'm doing the full coverage February, which I already explained. I'm still a little bit torn, but I think I want to do it. There is a sale that is starting February 1st, a stitch along, start along, what have you, by E Crafting in Colorado for the Finery of Nature. And she showed this a month or two ago, and I was like, I just got that for my birthday, but I don't need to start anything. So at first I was like, no, I don't need to do it. But the more they talk about it, they're going to work on it. The people involved who are jumping in with her are going to do it only on the 1st every month, starting February 1st. And I thought, well, I feel a little bit like I'm honoring the person who gifted it to me by working on it and enjoying it. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. So I decided, I think I'll probably start this, and it will be just a length of thread or something every 1st. It's not going to get a lot of attention. It'll just be a little bit here and there. And in the future, it'll get some spots. It might get a spot on my arbitrary August board. But I'll probably, I haven't decided yet. I might center start and come up in here. I might do this one first because of the way I hold my fabric. And I think that'd be more fun than doing the border. But then again, you need to do a border or just not do the border. That's also a possibility because I don't necessarily love the border. Yeah, I may not even do the border, but I think I might do this dragonfly one first, and then this one, and then the hummingbird and the butterflies, just by the way I hold my fabric. I think that would be the best. It comes with everything 14 count Aida in black and all the pretty colors that will pop off of it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. So it will just get a tiny bit of attention. It'll kick out my focus piece, not my focus piece, my bonus piece on the 1st every month if I can swing it. So that's kind of my plan. So if you are interested, there's a, can't remember the hashtag. I keep thinking it's like Finer Things Sal, but that's like the Finer Things Club in the office. So Finery of Nature Sal, maybe, because that's the title. Anyways, yeah, so I'll probably jump in on that, but just give it a little bit of time every 1st, not my main, it won't interrupt any of my main plans. It'll just interrupt some of my bonus stitching. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for that one. And now I have quilting, because I did quilt this week, which took up some of my bonus time because this block was enormous. This was the scrap apple block, which looked like that. And this is part of the Scrappiness is Happiness quilt along. So this is the size of it. It's the largest thing in here, and it took a long time. I cut all the pieces out on Saturday and sewed it on Sunday, and even still, it took like 3 hours to sew. So it took a long time. And this one's next, which is also going to take a long time. That's going to take a long time too. So yeah, it turned out great, and it's enormous, but it did take a long time. So I'm glad I finished it, and I think it turned out pretty good. I think this is the way I had it. So here it is. It's like 24 inches and a half square. Pretty far back. So this one used, all the colors are different. So it has, I think there's 20 different colors. And the backgrounds, I didn't have enough backgrounds to be completely unique, but I tried to keep them as varying as possible. These big blocks, at the beginning of this book, she has a way to like cut up your fat quarters in a way that will make it easy to do scrap quilts. And her largest chunk that she had you cut up is 7 inches. And then these were 7.5. So I'm like, well, there's no way I can get a 7.5-inch block out of a 7-inch section. So I had to go to my stash of things that I had not yet cut up. So this green one and this pink one over here were left over from the So Happy quilt I did last 2 years ago that I had not yet chopped up into pieces. And then these two were from quilts I made in high school. So those are blasts from the past pieces. So that was fun. It was fun to pull those out and work with those, because those are like, that's my style for sure. Yeah, so that was fun to work on. It took a long time. I think the one from the next one will be, I'm still a little bit behind, but the next one I'm going to do, I don't think it'll take quite that long, but will still be a doozy. So that was fun. So hopefully I'll have time to do the next one this week and not get too far behind again. So yeah, I think that's everything I have to share, and looking forward to wrapping up the month of January and moving into full coverage February. So join Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and I with full coverage February coming up here in just a week and a half. Yeah, find us over on Instagram, work on your stuff, tell us what you're doing. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to kind of highlight all the beautiful full coverage projects out there. So with that, I will let you go and have a wonderful week. Happy stitching. Bye.